Well, g'day, guys and girls. Ful-o Gold here. I didn't really sleep real well last night due to crippling anxiety and depression, but nevertheless, I'm here to make another video. I've just been doing some digging, and haha, digging because gold digging. No, I've been just searching. I got on the Google Maps and I got these pins here for where old mine shafts used to be. And I used to think the Golden Triangle used to be, sort of goes a little bit south of Ballarat, west out to Stall. It's actually more of a diamond type of thing, more of a square sideways diamond. But anyway, um, so I managed to get onto these pins of where gold mines used to be, and it tells you the yields. I don't know who Uh, I don't know who compiled all this information, but we got here Glenfine Estate Co. 34,000 ounces in placer in ancient buried uh, rock. Um, that's a huge amount, obviously. Now, what I wanted to do was do a bit of research on this. And I just, because of the Heritage Council there, they've done a lot of the stuff for us already. Um, so where it is, it's on private property, I believe. A lot of the goldfields are, but that's all right. We can deal. We're not here to go jumping people's fences. So let's see. Here it is, Glenfine South Mine, Pitfield Cressy Road. I'll zoom out here. Cape Clear is obviously up here. Doreen's there. Ballarat's all the way up here. Maybe I can even zoom out for you if I can. Yeah. So really, we're looking about around about here somewhere. That's how far down the gold has gone. Obviously, we got Rokewood further down here as well, but we're really looking in this sort of district here. That's halfway to Colac, basically. Like that's pretty far down. Really, how often do you talk about the goldfields and you think, oh, I'm going to go down to Pitfield, go halfway to Geelong, basically, to get gold. It's pretty extraordinary, really. So, let's get rid of this now. Yeah, this is really interesting because they've got this Glenfine Homestead. This is really cool. Yeah, I'll just read it out to you real quick. So, what is the significant? Glenfine Homestead is a substantial, Gothically styled, two-storey rendered bluestone residence. Glenfine was designed in 1872 by an architect H.R. Caselli for pastoralist William Thomas Rowe. Okay. It was constructed in 1873, although construction on the northwest section of the building was later an addition by Caselli. It has a wide balcony extending around three sides with heavy cast iron paired columns positioned on the upper veranda and lower porch. The steeply pitched slate roof was bracketed eaves and attic ventilators, and an intact glazed conservatory is attached to the eastern side of the building. Situated at the rear of the Glenfine is a bluestone wall with built-in dairy and adjacent to the house, timber cook's cottage and a small stone store. So they got their own dairy built in. And you got to imagine too, this 1872, they would have had their own cows, their own. Well, not everyone did, but being in a pastoralist. Yeah, being a pastoralist, he would have had cows, cattle. He had his own built-in dairy, and a cook's cottage. This guy must have had a lot of money to have such a big house, really, when you think about it. And no wonder he's on a deep lead, very rich deep lead mine. Well, let's read that. So, deep lead gold mining on the Pitfield Plains surrounding Glenfine Homestead was carried out from the 1890s to the 1920s. Okay, so this house was built a couple of decades before the gold mine opened. He must have been pretty rich before then. Several mining companies operated in the Glenfine property during this time. One of the mines, the Glenfine South Mine, was located virtually in the front garden of the homestead. That's my idea of having a good front yard. Having a gold mine. Who needs roses? Who needs a pond? Oh, you can have a tailings pond instead. So Glenfine South Mine. That's it. I'm gonna have a look at that. Is that on here? Glenfine South. Here we go. That's this big pit here. This big pit here. Now I don't know. This is Google Earth. I don't know when this satellite aerial shot was taken, but we can see there's a lot. They could be an old quarry at the moment, or a recent quarry still operating. 57,000 ounces. They can drop just 1 ounce of that for me if they want. Just drop it out the front gate. But if they did that, 57,000 of us did that, well, the mine would go belly up. So this mine was in the front yard of the cottage. Okay. Okay. So I wonder if this is the homestead right here. And then, because they had pretty big front yards back then too, didn't they? It wasn't like today. You have to have a 10-acre block or 2-acre block, and you walk a couple of meters, and then there's the front gate. Like, this would have been a massive pastoral run, probably of 5,000 hectares, possibly. So that's pretty impressive. Okay, back to what we're saying, what we're talking about. The landowner, William Rowe Jr., sought commercial gain through providing accommodation for workers for the mines by subdividing a parcel of land near his homestead and creating the private township of Hollybush. Yeah, that makes sense. You've got a few hundred guys working for the mine, and you're probably 50 kilometres out from Ballarat. It sounds like a pretty good business opportunity to me. Why don't you build some boarding houses? Yeah. Or Hollybush is just one of those ghost towns that people don't even know exist until they research it. So, in 1900, the township had a population of 426 and comprised a store, a couple of boarding houses, and over 20 cottages. The township was in use for some 20 years until cessation of mining activities in the district. The Glenfire South Mine operated from 1897 to 08. The mine's gold population and size was not remarkable, but gave the mine a special place in the history of the industry. It was its massive 40-head stamping battery. 40 head. The reason for such a substantial battery at Glenfire South was that quartz and deep lead mining was conducted in unison there. Wow, that's impressive. Two totally different types of mining: hard rock mining and digging for that alluvial stuff that's underground. And yet, they deal with both of that. So today, it's massive foundations. Okay, I just missed one. One of few such instances in Victoria's deep lead mining history. Okay, so there's not a lot of mines then that did both, and that's interesting because I know of a good old timer friend. I think there was over in Gippsland. There was one mine that he knew of. He thought it was the only one that. I might be wrong. I'm sorry, Graham. I'm probably wrong, but we got another one here anyway that do both types of mining. Today, its massive foundations and the tailings and slimes generated by crushing process bear testimony to the mine's unique place in the state's history. Okay, so how's it significant? It's pretty obvious. 40 head stamping battery. You got a massive homestead made by an architect. And to mine, I think it's still standing too. So, and the site of Hollybush Township. Okay, Hollybush Township. Let's get rid of that for a second. I don't have too many photos here, but this is the homestead here. I don't know if that's gonna no. Can I just yeah, there we go. Don't have any information when that photo was taken, but we can see the craftsmanship's in it really. The fine detail. Like, look at this balcony. Just a piece of art. And to see that it's survived for so long, over 100 years, well over 100 years, 150 years. That's pretty amazing. So this must be the layout. Wadeyallick Creek up there. B1 is a house. B1, that's the front of the house. B2, bluestone. Oh, that's what they mean by bluestone wall. Like that. Okay. Cook's Cottage, B3. And the stone store, which would be over here. Ah, okay, that makes sense now. Yep. Okay. So that makes sense. Yep. We looked at that. Now, okay. Homestead. Yep, I think I was right. I think that was a homestead there, and then the mine is in their front yard. Okay, just what we were looking at before. Yep. Makes sense. And then we got up the corner here. Here's where the rest of the town was. Okay. Hollybush Township. Yep. Pretty much the town only lasted for about 20 years. Then mining ceased, and yeah, that's all she wrote. Sadly, a lot of these old townships followed the same path. Some of them, got Smyesdale, Dereal, Creswick. There's no real mining in there anymore, but they're still standing. There's still people living there, apart from, Pitfield having like pretty much no original buildings there at all. Okay, so that's very very interesting. Um, some 350 deep lead mines have been recorded across Victoria, from Rutherglen to north to the Pitfield Plains in the south. Okay. Another thing I found in my journeys in the interwebs, internets, I managed to pull up some interesting newspaper articles, believe it or not. This is just taken from the Trove here. Now, you can probably read it, but I'll read it for you. It says Glenfine South, taken from, what year was this? 1938. Okay. The management of Glenfine South Consolidated Gold Mines, NL, reports from Pitfield that 6 fathoms of wash obtained in development from the wash drives off number 1 rise, the bottom level, was put through the puddler for a return of 8 ounces to penny weights. Is that penny weights? I don't know. I can't remember. Of gold. Okay. So a fathom. I looked that up too. A fathom is a cubic fathom. Measurement unit feet volume with sides equal to 1 fathom. Okay, so it is a cubic fathom is 6 feet by 6 feet by 6 feet. That's what a fathom is. So a bit more. Is that a bit more than a cubic meter? How much is a meter? About 3 feet. So it's probably getting close to 2.5. Not 2.5. 1.5. Maybe 2 cubic meters. Yeah. So that's, and what they get, 6 ounces out of that. I mean, I'll shovel 2 cubic meters of dirt if I got half an ounce out of it. I'll shovel that much for what's gold now, like 1,800. Like, I'll just shovel that for $900 for a few hours work. So those guys are doing pretty good down there. Alright guys, well, I'm going to leave it there. Some more interesting history for us to look at. If you'd like to support me on YouTube, just give me a follow, a thumbs up, leave some comments so the YouTube algorithm knows what my videos are like. Share it with your friends, your prospector mates, and yeah, tell me how I can improve, how things I can improve on. Also, if anyone knows any better ways of a pointer on an iPad, let me know, because this is really getting annoying tapping this thing here. Alright guys, stay safe, and yep, we'll see you in the next one.
When first I left old England shore, such yarns as we were told, as how folks in Australia could pick up lumps of gold. So when we got to Melbourne town, we were ready soon to slip and get even with the captain and scuttle from the ship. With his swag upon me shoulder, Black Billy in me hand, I travel the bush of Australia like a true born native man.